Welcome to today's video. We are going to talk about multiple choice item writing guidelines and implications. This is based on the review done by Thomas, Stephen, and Michael, and will be presented by Cheng Zhuli, Zhao Yangjie, and Yu Kai-tu. The first part of today is about the background introduction, will be done by me, Cheng Zhuli. So first of all, let's lay down the definitions of some key concepts. Item writing and measurement book. Item writing refers to the process of constructing the items required for a given task or assessment. The people who write these items are called item writers, so this is also a profession here. Secondly, is about measurement book. It means a book used for recording measurements of various works done and supplies made for the purpose of payment against such works and supplies. After we took a look at the definitions, now let's see the great value of this taxonomy of this review. It has potential to educate teachers and also for the future teachers as well. It has usefulness for developing task items. And this review was discussed from substantive and methodological viewpoints. It has great foundation of evidence. Before today's review, we are going to divide the item writing guidelines into 4 parts of the development. At the first stage is also when this concept just emerged. It was between 1970 to 1985. At that time, it was described as an immature science. At the second stage, in 1989, Haladyna and Downing, you need to remember these two very important names. They developed 43 guidelines based on the item writing. And in the same year, they examined the results of 93 empirical studies. They found something that is underlying those researchers. Later, we are going to prevail on that. At the fourth stage, it was after 1992, the researchers from that time were emphasizing a lot on the use of various multiple choice item formats only. So today's we are going to start from the first stage. It was done by Cronbach, Nitko, Roy, and Haladyna. At that time, the critics described item writing as a loosely organized set of guidelines, mainly transmitted via textbooks. The authors of these textbooks are testing specialists who based their advice on personal experience, wisdom, and limited empirical research. So you can see that from that time, when a concept just emerged, you can see there's no systematic study about it. So it's waiting to be further researched. That's when it comes to the second stage. Haladyna and Downing at the same year. First of all, they examined 46 measurement textbook passages and produced a set of 43 item writing guidelines. And they found that some guidelines had a strong consensus. Some guidelines were given lesser attention. Several guidelines were controversial. So in conclusion, commonly, authors did not logically or empirically justify the guidelines they presented. So some guidelines still need to be researched. Some guidelines were overstated. At the same year, here comes to the third stage. They evaluated the results of 93 empirical studies on these guidelines. So empirical study is what they are looking at this stage. They found that most of them addressed about half the guidelines with the other half unstudied. And conclusion, maybe there is a strong consensus value among specialists without the need for research. That's why some guidelines were neglected, were left out from the empirical research. And the fourth part, from this time, researchers are emphasizing a lot on the formats of different MC items. So they found that several item systematic reviews were done to examine the usefulness. And this is only based on the formats, remember? But no systematic study of what writers of measurement textbooks advocate regarding to MC item formats. In the end, we have some questions about this review. As the remeasurement textbooks and researchers cited, the author didn't mention the criteria that it based on. Further on, the validity of using these books and researchers weren't mentioned. As a review of MC item writing guidelines for classrooms, the author still had questions on the validity of each guideline, but didn't produce new research to answer. Now I'm going to pass on my partner to further illustrate the fifth stage of the development of MC item writings and also implications on this review. Thank you so much.